Hey guys, and welcome back to Christ Consumer Lovers channel. So this is like an official video, and I want to say Happy New Year. Yeah, Happy New Year. Thank you guys for your support and your prayer. The one I know of, and the one I don't know of, and your care and all that. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate all your affections and gestures and all that. So thank you so much. I had to put that out there. um I'm making an impromptu video. I created a video, or I made a video when I was in school, and I'm still going to post the video anyways, just to kind of give a recap or maybe a reason as to my absence on this platform. And some things, it may not be um legitimate, I don't know how to call it, it may not be convincing, but I felt it was convincing enough for me as to why I needed to back out and all that. So I would still make the video, I would still post the video once I'm done editing. Anyways guys, if you just new, don't forget to subscribe, share, like, tell someone about this video. This is not a regular YouTube Christian channel because I wanted to have subscribers, so I just wanted to tell people about the gospel, which is also one of the things there, but it is also part of God's plan. I don't know how to describe it, but it's part of God's plan, and I really do hope that upon each video that one or more of the videos touches lives, and that's my own, that they find Christ and they see Christ and they grow to know Christ. That is my desire. Okay, so guys, I don't know who this video is going to reach out to, but I would really love if this video is shared. I really do want to share this video out. I'm going to talk about something that I called a 1 into the 7 churches. I don't know how to fix it in, but it's based on purely, disclaimer guys, it is based on a vision the Lord showed me. And I didn't want to come out immediately as I got it, but because I needed to really understand it, I needed to digest it, pray about it, hear God's direct guidance on what to do about this video. And I feel convinced enough that I should make this video right now. So guys, maybe this video is gonna be long, but please do pay attention. Now, I don't know if I should describe the video, the vision, but I'm going to put it this way. So according to the vision, the Lord took me to the back of a church, and he made me get buckets, like buckets, what people understand as buckets, and he told me to fill up the 7 buckets, and I did. And I was waiting, okay, so what's the next instruction as to these 7 buckets? And he told me to pick up 1 bucket and take it into the church of, I told you I was standing behind the church, take it into the church that I was standing behind. And at that time, that church, they were going through a season, a Lenten season. Yeah, Lenten season in most Orthodox or Presbyterian churches, sometimes followed religiously, like after the Christmas, the next thing we hear about is the Lent, and how you have to go through the Passion of Christ and all that. So they take a 40 days Lent to pray, to reflect on the Passion of Christ, and then before there's Easter and all that. So no, before the Lent, there's a Good Friday and Easter, Holy Saturday. Yeah, I don't know how they plan or what they call those things. Well, most of us that are grown in churches like this, we have gotten used to the knowledge of what those signify. Yeah. So at that time they were doing the Lenten season, and it was my own former church that was used as a background picture. So like I entered, and from that church they had only one door. Like in the whole church building there was only a door, and there were ladies by this side, and a straight part, like a middle part, and then there were guys, like men, on the other side. But initially, the way the church has always been planned, like the way the system of that church or the pattern of that church has always been, the elders always stayed in the front. But this time around, the young men were at the front and the elders were behind the young men. And when I took in the bucket, I was still waiting for an instruction. Okay, I've taken a bucket of water into, what should I do next? And I was told to drop it at the altar, and I dropped it at the altar, and I was coming back, and a man that was one of the elders of the church stood up and rebuked me and told me to take away the bucket of blood that I was carrying. And everyone could see it was water, and I was looking at the water and I was like, this is water. And he said, take away that bucket of blood from this place. And he kept getting angry, like he was agitated. I had to carry the bucket and I was going. And when I got to that door, I suddenly paused. It was like, when an extra force holds you and you turn. And all of a sudden, the Lord started using me to render judgment on them. And I stood there and I said, isn't Christ the head of the church? And I turned to the elders and I said something, and I said, you bring up principles, you bring up religious rights and all, and you blaspheme the gospel, and you stop the rest that are within your congregation from going to learn what this gospel is about. And funnily, in that church, among the men and the women, the youth, there were people who had thirst for knowledge, who had thirst for the supernatural, extraordinary, and because of their church pattern, they were limited, but they knew that there was more. They knew that there was extra to which they could get, or which their church at that time was dishing out. And those that were also, trying to break forth out of such religious rites were, will I say, they were rendered silent and all that. And it looked strange because I kept the bucket of the water in front of the door, and I started passing judgment. And I remember saying to the elders of the church, and I said, woe unto him who judges, for he shall be judged. Isn't Christ the head of the church? Why speak blasphemy against the gospel? Why stop people from learning the gospel? Why stop people from going towards learning and getting to know churches that are exposed? And then when I stood up from that revelation, I was I was scared because it looked so heavy in my heart. I'm just giving you like a concise part of the vision, just so that I don't make this video extremely long. I was let's say scared. No, I was thinking upon my bed or something like that. I was like, what does this really mean? And I prayed and I spoke to a few people. I remember speaking to my aunts and somebody else, which along the line you would see. So I got to a point where my siblings, I got to a point where I had to actually ask God, what does this mean? Apart from the fact that there's division within the church is one. One. There is no churches. You might come from a different denomination, but we are one. See, Christ is the head and we are the body. We are one church. Now, to the elders of the church, preach the gospel. And if you can't preach the gospel, don't stop others from learning the gospel, from going forth to learn the gospel. Don't reduce the rate in which people are going out to learn this gospel. I don't know. Or don't try to cool off the fire they are trying to fan a flame. I remember when I was growing up, I told my mom one time that I wanted to leave the church, and she said that no, until you turn 18. And got to a point, she said no. I told her that you said okay when I turn 18 I could leave the church. She said no, this is where I gave birth to you, you had to go. And I struggled, to tell you the truth. I never even found Christ within that church. I found Christ outside that church, within the youth in my secondary school. Yeah, and I started trying to grow with that flame that I got, like the eagerness, the hunger to know God. And each time I came back, to as if that flame was put off. And when youth within my church then started growing, it's like they were shut off. It's like we already have a religious stuff. We already have systems of how we do this. You can't come and preach a different gospel from what we have preached. We can't come and give a different, exposure to light, so to say, from what we have told the people. And when you see people who have taken this word religiously and taken this word, planted their faith, it is very, very hard to convince them. I'm not talking about the leaders, I'm talking about the church, the brethren. Yeah, we find brethren now bad mouthing, and even leaders bad mouthing other churches. And funny thing I found out is that from that whole vision, the youth were now begin. It's like the Lord is planning to do something with this youth coming up now. I don't know, probably had it severally. The Lord is trying to bring out men from this youth. And the funny thing, this our generation, we are eager to run with this gospel. We are eager to follow Christ. And then we are also looking at our fathers behind and saying, "Oh, maybe I should." I get that it's good to honor. I get that it's good to submit, but you shouldn't submit to a point where it makes your belief, will I call it a mediocre? I don't know what to say. I don't have grammar to use, but you shouldn't submit to a point where your faith in the true gospel is made useless. Yeah? So you only follow someone as the person follows Christ. When there's a deviation, you look actually and they'll discern how to come out. You just don't follow hook, line, and sinker. I know that the elders now are saying, I pray to you, don't run. The elders may have endurance to have run in a slow pace and then get there, but it doesn't mean that you that have what is beyond theirs shouldn't run. I don't know how to put it. I don't know. Just don't let anyone quench your fire. And I beg each and every leader of any church, be so open to celebrate growth in your church. The reason why people are leaving churches to go to other churches, they feel like God is there, is because they haven't been satisfied from where they are. So when you see them leaving, you shouldn't start bad mouthing other churches. You should actually look on yourself and say, what am I not doing? What have I not gotten? What is not exposed to me? What do I need from the Lord? And I believe that each time you go before the Lord's presence, you should be able to say, show me things hidden that I don't know. Show me things that I limit myself from seeing, because I'm telling you the truth. Many things we don't pay attention to is what the youths are running after. And when they bring a new religion, when they bring out something that looks new but isn't new, because you are limited from that, we don't want to listen. In as much as the youth should sit down and listen under fathers, the father should also sit down to listen and celebrate the youth when they are growing. But I will also say, do not judge so you won't be judged. I think this is how many folds to the youth, to the leaders of the church, and also to how both the youth and the church. Do not condemn any church, I beg you. See, I know that it is not realistic, but when Christ is coming, he's not coming for instance, Redeemed Christian Church of God or something else. He's coming for one church, one bride. And when he comes, he's not going to look at denominations. I'm telling you, I've said it before, and I think I will say it again, that you will not be surprised to see many heads, many pastors, many leaders, many believers that you felt like, oh, I place so much, high respect in hell, not because they were fake, but because there were a lot of things that they didn't deal with. So you have to follow a man only as he follows Christ. And thank you so much for viewing this video. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. God bless you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all that. Love you guys.